Bonjour à toutes, bonjour à tous. Merci, Chloé, d'être présente à mes côtés encore pour cette nouvelle rencontre.
Merci Steven de m'avoir convié à cet échange qui s'annonce très intéressant.
Donc, bonjour Errol, merci en tout cas d'avoir accepté notre proposition d'interview.
Bonjour.
Merci d'être présent.
So hello, good morning, dear Errol
Yeah.
Musk. Thank you for accepting our request to be here
Okay.
with us today.
Donc,
All right.
Monsieur Errol Musk, du nom Musk, on connaît, c'est le père du fameux Elon Musk, mais pas que, hein, c'est un ingénieur, un pilote, un marin. Voilà, il a fait beaucoup de choses dans sa vie, on va en parler au fur et à mesure.
So, Mr. Errol Musk, you must know this name, Musk. He's the father of Elon Musk. He's been
Yes.
also an engineer. You are an engineer, and you're a pilot,
Yes.
and you worked in the
Yes.
Navy too, and maybe
In the
more in the Navy or in
no,
the.
no. I've never been in the Navy. But I've done a lot of sailing, so I've sailed around
Really?
the world.
Okay.
Yes.
Génial.
Okay. So you're a complex and interesting person who has many
Well,
interests in life.
yeah, try to do everything you can before you have to leave.
Yeah, you're right. Donc il ajoute qu'il faut faire le maximum de choses avant de quitter ce monde.
I've just arrived now 5 minutes ago from Johannesburg, which is 1,500 kilometers away. I arrived here 5 minutes ago, 1,500-kilometer drive. But I came in at Bentley, so it's a very nice car. It's the speedometer
Yeah.
is to 350.
Alors, Errol nous explique qu'il est arrivé il y a 5 minutes de Johannesburg dans sa Bentley. Il vient d'arriver et cette voiture
Well, if it
monte
was
jusqu'à 350 km/h. OK. Mhm.
if it was miles per hour, then it would be. If that was miles per hour, then it would be 500 kilometers per hour, which is
But
not possible.
it's not very legal, I think.
No, it's not legal. No, it's not legal.
But you look
In Germany,
fresh.
maybe.
In Germany, yes, you don't have the
Yeah, speed limit.
maximum, the speed. But you look really like if you had taken a nap just before. You don't look tired. Et je lui dis qu'il n'a pas l'air
I'm
fatigué.
tired.
Il a l'air. He's tired. Il est fatigué.
I'm tired.
Ok, ça se voit pas.
I'm a bit tired.
Ok,
Yeah, I'm a bit tired. A little bit,
little bit.
you know.
It's
Yeah.
normal, I would say.
Alors,
First question.
allez, première question pour Errol. Quelles étaient vos aspirations ou rêves d'enfant et comment ont-ils évolué au fil du temps?
So first question is, what were your dreams and aspirations as a child, and how did they evolve through time?
Well, I do remember that as a student, I wrote down 5 things that I wanted. One was to marry Elon's mother.
Oh.
She was my girlfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was to get a black belt in karate, which I did. And then the other one was to become a successful engineer. And quite frankly, I can't remember what the other 2 things were. I think it was to find be able to buy a home, a house.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did all those things. I did all those 5 things. And as a matter of fact, I've just come from Pretoria now, which is a capital city of South Africa. Mm-hmm. And the house that I bought is now the home of the European ambassador to Southern Africa.
Okay, so let me translate maybe until now. Alors, Errol avait 5 rêves quand il était étudiant et il les a réalisés tous les 5. Le premier, c'était d'épouser la mère d'Elon, qui était sa petite amie quand il était étudiant. Le deuxième, c'était d'être ceinture noire au karaté, ce qu'il a réussi à faire. La troisième, c'était d'être un ingénieur qui réussit, un bon ingénieur, ce qu'il a réussi également à faire. Les 2 dernières, il n'est pas sûr de s'en rappeler, mais il pense que c'était l'un d'eux, c'était d'avoir une super maison, belle maison. Et en fait, il a racheté la maison de l'ambassadeur d'Afrique du Sud. Donc là, ils sont en Afrique du Sud, hein, il habite en Afrique du Sud, Errol. And then go ahead. You were about to say
Yeah.
something about the house.
No, I'm just saying, I got a nice house, and I have, I think the other thing I wanted was to have a family, and I had a family of children, and yeah, so it worked out quite successful, and I didn't expect my children to do as well as they have. I mean, I figured they should do well, or try and do well, but I didn't think they'd do so well.
Donc le cinquième rêve, probablement que c'était d'avoir une famille, ce qu'il a eu, et il ne s'attendait pas à ce que ses enfants aient une réussite aussi énorme que ce qui s'est passé. Alors ils espéraient qu'ils s'en sortent bien, mais là ça a été au-delà de ce qu'il rêvait.
Ouais. On va en parler.
We're going to talk about it.
Ok.
Alors, quels principes fondamentaux avez-vous utilisés pour enseigner à vos enfants et comment pensez-vous qu'ils ont influencé leur succès?
So, which fundamental principle did you teach your children, and how do you think they um, they reacted with all you taught them? What do you think they out of what you taught them?
Well, I was always doing pretty interesting things, I suppose, and they followed me along. And I would tell them, you have to do everything to the best of your ability, And I mean, for example, I told them when they were very small, if you can wash a car properly, then you can do anything. But you have to be able to wash a car properly. Now, I would say if you took 10 people and asked them to wash a motor car, only one would wash it properly. Only one.
So, alors, l'un des
principes... I taught them to do things properly. And I didn't really give them any leeway. I mean, it was either you do it like that or you just don't do it, And but they were very easy to teach because they were just like me. So it was very easy, very easy.
Alors, l'un des principes...
In fact, they do things better than I do it. They do it better than me.
You're a nice dad. L'un des principes, I will translate. L'un des principes qu'il leur a inculqué, c'est de faire toujours du mieux qu'ils pouvaient. Et ça a été très facile parce que ces enfants lui ressemblent et apprennent vite et ont fait vraiment les choses du mieux qu'ils ont pu. Et il donne comme exemple, Errol, les voitures. Quand tu laves une voiture, il faut savoir le faire comme il faut, vraiment correctement. Et il nous dit que sur 10 personnes qui vont laver une voiture, il n'y en a qu'un qui va y arriver, qui va arriver vraiment à le faire correctement. Et ce qu'il espérait en tout cas inculquer à ses enfants, c'est que ses enfants fassent vraiment à chaque fois les choses du mieux possible et du mieux qu'ils peuvent et correctement. Et puis, ils l'ont fait.
Bon, il y a quelque part à ma prochaine question, mais qu'est-ce qui fait que, par exemple, Elon Musk là, réussit plus que les autres?
What do you think made Elon, be successful maybe more than the other two of your children? I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that. I would say they're all equally successful.
Okay.
So Kimbal is in the restaurant business, but then, of course, Kimbal is also one of the two partners of SpaceX, and Kimbal is also a director of Tesla. And Kimbal has 3,581 restaurants.
So, en fait, les trois enfants de Errol ont réussi aussi bien. Et Elon n'a pas réussi mieux que les autres. Et par exemple, Kimbal, qui est son frère, pardon, sorry, est partenaire de Elon dans SpaceX.
Oui.
Et il est directeur de Tesla. Donc, en fait, ils travaillent ensemble. I don't know if the third child is a partner of Elon's business too? Or
my daughter, yes, my daughter, Tosca, my daughter, she owns, she went and studied how to make films. She has a degree in as a director of films, from University of British Columbia. And she now makes her own films on a channel called Passion Flix, which is like Netflix. It's the same as Netflix. And she owns it. And you can subscribe to Passion Flix. She makes full-length films. and she's made at least 100 films, if not more.
Oh,
And you can subscribe to the films, and they are about romance and mostly about romance, and they appeal to, I suppose, the woman, you know, and so she's very successful, and she's, you know, done very, very well indeed. I mean, you know, so in reality, all three of them have done equally well in many ways. You know, it's just that in a way, you know, Elon tends to take the headlines with the things that he does. So that's a bit of a difference. But, you know, I mean, Kimbal, for example, was invited by the British so-called royal family to come and teach them how to tell them how he puts gardens into children's schools to teach children how to grow vegetables. So at the last time I counted, Kimbal has put learning gardens into about 2,500 schools in America to teach children how to grow vegetables.
So let me maybe translate, because ce que j'ai pas dit juste avant, c'est que Kimbal, il a 3851 restaurants. Donc, il est extrêmement successful. Enfin, il a eu un réel succès dans la restauration. Et là, il a été convoqué ou invité par la famille royale d'Angleterre pour enseigner à des enfants comment planter des légumes, par exemple, tout ce qui a rapport avec les potagers. Et la sœur de Elon, Tosca, elle est réalisatrice de films et elle est directrice de Passion Flix, donc c'est comme Netflix, avec des films qui sont essentiellement basés sur la romance. Et elle a fait je crois, 100 longs métrages de films, en fait, sur cette thématique-là. Donc, les trois enfants, effectivement, sont equally successful. Donc, ont réussi de façon égale, selon leur père, en tout cas. Ce qui s'est passé avec Elon, c'est qu'il a beaucoup il a été beaucoup montré par les médias. Il est devenu beaucoup plus public que les deux autres. Mais les trois sont des vrais entrepreneurs et des vrais leaders. Ça, c'est moi qui rajoute.
Question que j'ai pas vue, mais en un mot, comment ils définiraient ces trois enfants, Kimbal, Tosca et Elon, en un mot?
If you had to describe your three children with one word for each, which words would you pick to describe Elon, Tosca, Kimbal, or one or two? What would you say?
Well, you know, they're very curious, you know, because they want to see what they can do. I mean, like little children, you know, they still, in a way, like little children. They want to keep on seeing what it is they can do and what they can do before someone says you can't do that. And especially if you do say to them, you can't do that, they tend to say, well, I'm going to try anyway. So, you know, people look at Elon, let's say, and they think, well, he's been very successful. But if you look at Elon, he doesn't think he's been very successful. He thinks that he should have been where he is now 5 years ago, at least 5 years ago. So he feels that he should have been where he is now, landing rockets and all that sort of stuff. He should have been at this point maybe in 2017. So he's 7 years behind in his book, in his mind.
Okay.
And he would have liked to have been able to be on Mars by now. And so he's frustrated. It's not as though he thinks that everything is fine.
Alors, je vais déjà dire ça. Les trois sont très curieux. C'est comme des enfants, et si tu leur dis ne le fais pas, ils vont le faire. Ça, c'est vraiment une caractéristique propre à eux. Et Elon, en fait, ne se trouve pas successful. Il ne pense pas avoir réussi aussi bien qu'il aurait voulu, parce qu'il aimerait être le stade où il est maintenant, c'est ce qu'il aurait voulu, c'est ce qui était prévu déjà en 2017. Aujourd'hui, il aimerait déjà atterrir sur Mars, faire atterrir des fusées. Pour lui, il est frustré d'être en retard par rapport à son planning. Pour lui, il a selon Errol, 7 ans de retard par rapport à ce qu'il avait prévu. What about your daughter and your other son? How would you describe them shortly?
Well, I was with my daughter at her film studios in Atlanta, in America, a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she has huge sets and huge warehouses with all the different sets for the films, all the movie sets, and I said to her, well, this is absolutely amazing. And then she took me outside and showed me a field across the road. And she said, you see that big field there? I said, yes. And she said, I need to buy that field so that I can put up much bigger studios, film studios. And so you see, it's the same thing. People always feel they should be doing more, and they feel they're behind. They should be doing more, and they're not happy. They want to be ahead. They're looking to be ahead. They're worried they're not fast enough, that kind of thing.
And so
they're
your
not
son
big-headed.
is...
They don't say they're very big-headed, I'm so successful. No, they don't talk like that.
En fait, ils n'ont pas la grosse tête du tout. Sa fille, par exemple, elle aimerait... Il y a des endroits qu'elle verrait bien pour ses films, donc elle aimerait les acheter, mais elle ne peut pas. Donc elle est toujours, entre guillemets, frustrée de ne pas être aussi... de ne pas réussir autant qu'elle aimerait le faire. En fait, c'est un peu ça pour les trois. Ils se sentent un peu, quelque part, pas à la hauteur. Et ils n'ont pas du tout l'impression d'être waouh, moi c'est bon, j'ai réussi. Tu vois, ils se vantent pas, quoi. C'est pas des vantards, c'est pas des prétentieux, c'est des gens qui se trouvent, qui se sous-estiment. They underestimate themselves a bit.
Well, everybody's like that. I mean,
yeah.
If you speak to the most successful,
yes, you're right,
CEO of a company, and ask him how he's doing, he'd say, well, we should be doing much better.
Yeah. Ouais, c'est ça.
If he says, oh, we're doing fine, he's going to get fired.
En fait, ce qu'il nous dit, c'est que tous les entrepreneurs sont comme ça. Ils disent qu'ils ne sont pas assez arrivés à faire des choses et qu'ils sont jamais satisfaits finalement. Et que c'est normal de l'être quand tu es vraiment quelqu'un d'innovant. Enfin,
so everything is relative, everything is relative.
Tout est relatif. Ouais.
Things are relative.
Yeah.
So it depends where you are, Remember, no matter how well off you are or how wealthy you think you are, there's always somebody who's better than you. So you forever wonder how you can move ahead. How can I move ahead faster? So we think like that. And, I must say that in our family, and I see with the children, they're actually very practical, in terms of lifespan, because especially Elon, in terms of his lifespan, how is he going to get everything done? He's already 53. And so how is he going to get to Mars, get everybody set up on Mars? When he's only really got, in accordance with the Bible, he's only got 17 years to live. So,
more. What is it, this 17 years to live according to the Bible?
Well, the Bible says that you have 70 years to live. 70, that's 70 years. 70 years, that's the Bible. Okay. The Bible,
I didn't know.
Jewish.
But
didn't know that?
No, I'm
you
not.
Don't live to 120. You don't live to 120, or did you think you do?
I don't know. Some people live 100 years. Depends.
No, very few people live to 100 years. So if you want to know how old you're going to live, just work out. Just see how old your mother or your grandmother or your father or your
98.
grandfather was when they died.
94. My grandmother.
Well, then you have a good chance of getting there, you see. But generally speaking, it's 70 years and 10. So, as I say, with our family, with the people, you think in terms of your, your lifespan. And it's not only that, in business, in most businesses in the world that I know of, if you try to continue to be active after the age of 65, they don't want you anymore. They want you to leave. 65.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
You're finished. We got new people now. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. But in the same time, they try to make you leave the later and later.
Yeah, sure. But you know, I mean, you know, at 94, you're not really going to be running the business the way you would like to run it at maybe when you were 45.
I don't agree with this policy, but they try to make us work as late as they can.
Yes, but no, yes. No, I think in the world, most of the places in the world, they you know, look, they try to get you to leave work at the age of 60, then it became 65. And then as people became younger, in a way, because of medication and all that sort of stuff, they try to push it maybe to 70, which is good. But most of the time, you won't find people pushing people to work past the age of 70, which is 70 and 10. 70 and 10 years. So, yeah, so, I mean, on the other hand, I have met people in America who are in their mid-70s or even older who are still doing professional work, and they're very effective. But it's not very many.
No, and that's not a model. That's not an example.
So what I'm saying is, with my sons and with us, we tend to see things also in what are we capable of in the span of our lifetime, you know. And you see a lot of people today, you know, women who especially today, modern Western women, mess around so much in their 20s, and then they come into their 30s and they think they're still children, but they're not children anymore, and nobody wants to marry them anymore. And the cutoff age for women to have a child without complications is 35 years of age, and they don't know that. And then they suddenly discover that at 35 they are considered old medically, and children are no longer an easy proposition at all. And so, you know, most of the people, one of the things that differentiated me and my children and my family, my brother and so on, from other people, is that we counted every year, that from the day we started studying, from the day we left school, from the day we were finished with the military, we didn't waste any time. We didn't have gap years. Gap years never applied to us. And we never had gap weekends. We never even had gap weekends. You work every day. And the result was that, in my case, I had very little at the age of, when I finished university, at the age of about 22. But by the time I was 24, which is only 2 years later, I was able to marry Elon's mother, take her to Europe on a honeymoon from South Africa, buy my first Mercedes-Benz and a house. And it only took me 2 years. Whereas a lot of people will only get there maybe in the age of 34, you know, another 10 years, which means they're very far behind, very, very far behind. So now I was just telling you that the house that Elon grew up in, and which I bought when I was 26, is now the home of the European ambassador to Southern Africa. And I bought that house when I was 26 years of age. So that gives you some idea of how we try to move ahead as fast as possible. Because most men at the age of 25, 26 have never even bought a house.
Yeah.
Never mind a house that is an ambassador residence.
Of course.
Yeah. So we try to make every year count as much as possible. And that's, I think, the thing I would say about Elon, or especially Elon, every year, to try and make every year count. And that's why I say he feels that he should have been where he is now, maybe 5 years ago, or 6 or 7 years ago. So I wouldn't say he's terribly thrilled to be where he is at the age of 53. He would rather be where he is now at the age of 43.
So 10 years before. So anyway, I'll translate. Yeah, let me translate this. Donc, Elon, c'est comme Errol, ils veulent toujours faire les choses vite, de façon efficace. Il a déjà 53 ans, Elon, et c'est pour lui, il reste que 17 ans à vivre parce qu'il pense qu'il va vivre jusqu'à 70 ans. C'est un peu une moyenne. Là, Errol faisait allusion à la Bible. Alors, je ne sais pas dans quel passage on parle de l'âge, l'espérance de vie, mais en tout cas, pour Elon, chaque année compte et il est déjà en retard par rapport à ce qu'il voulait faire et il aimerait en être, en fait, à 43 ans, d'après ce que dit son père, parce qu'il y a tellement de choses à faire encore. Et il expliquait, Errol, que il a fait ses études et ensuite il a été très rapide. Il s'est marié rapidement, il a eu sa maison rapidement, euh, il a fait sa famille, il a eu sa première Benz Mercedes au bout de moins de 2 ans, enfin dans les 2 ans qui ont suivi son diplôme. Et en fait, il dit aussi que bah, s'il y a quelqu'un qui est plus riche, on a toujours envie d'être aussi riche que l'autre ou plus riche que l'autre. Il y a une histoire de compétition. Et aussi, ce qu'il nous disait, c'est que dans la vie, ça passe tellement vite. Parfois, on se donne pas de pause. On travaille le week-end, les vacances. Euh, il y a pas de pause dans une vie et on ne se rend pas compte de la valeur des années, en fait. Euh, il nous disait aussi que l'âge jusqu'auquel on est efficace dans la vie, c'est 65 ans. Et certains arrivent jusqu'à 70 ans, mais c'est rare. Euh, il y a une sorte de, bon là, on n'a pas développé, mais de dilemme entre partir tard à la retraite et être efficace. Et aussi, we didn't talk about the spare time that we need as a human being in your life before leaving your job. We need space. We need respiration and what do you, well, what we think, but I don't know if you agree with that. Do you think we should work until retirement, or have some spare times, spare years, or I don't know how do you say, but
yes, well, I mean, first of all, the work you choose to do should be not really work for you. It should be uh, something you really want to do, and so you should be something that you don't even want to go home at night, or you want to keep on doing it all the time. And so, if you have that, then you're successful. You must find something to do that's almost like not work. It's actually like fun, or it's something that you really like to do, and you know. In terms of lifespan, let me explain also in terms of like athletes, for example, we've had the Olympic Games now. If you aren't in the top like 50 at the age of like maybe 18 or 19 in your field of athletics, you're never going to win a gold medal. Never. Your life, your as an athlete, you have a certain up until the age, maybe like the age of 28. You can't start at 28 to get a gold medal. You have to start at the age of 14.
Or less,
or maybe 6 years. If you want to be a champion golfer, you have to start at the age of 6 years.
6
years of age.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know.
Because there's a span. You can't suddenly. It's because it's that sort of curve where you will go up but then you will reach a peak and then you will come down. Yeah. So it's the same with the work you do, and everybody is the same. So it's not as though anyone's different. Everybody has the same problem, and so you just try and do the best you can, all the time. Anyway, what's your next question?
Oh, let me just translate this. Alors, il disait que le travail, ça doit être une passion, ça doit être vraiment quelque chose, tu n'as pas l'impression de travailler pour pas t'épuiser, et que pour être fort dans quelque chose, il faut commencer vraiment jeune. Pour être, par exemple, champion olympique, il faut commencer à 6 ans. Il ne faut pas commencer à 18 ans, ou même 14 ans. Voilà, et que notre efficacité, elle est vraiment en forme de courbe. Il y a un sommet, et puis ensuite, ça descend. Il faut vraiment être dans les temps.
Une pyramide.
OK, next question. Prochaine question.
Quel est son avis sur les prénoms de son fils Elon Musk qu'il a choisi pour ses enfants?
So, what do you think about your grandsons and son and granddaughter, the children of Elon, who are X Æ A-XII and X Æ A-XII? What do you think about
names?
First names?
Yes.
These first names.
Well, the mother, Elon didn't give them those names. The mother is a sort of, you know, that's her career. She does freaky dancing and freaky music, and well, it's not really music, it's just funny sounds, and you know, grimes, you know. And we call her Claire, but I mean, that's her sort of career. So she named the children because she thinks that's cool, but it's actually not very cool at all. And you know, she wanted to tattoo the head of the child with tattoos, you know, on the head, shave the hair and put tattoos when he was just a baby.
Wow.
And then Elon said, no, not going to allow that. So at the moment, we have a very bad situation. Elon doesn't let her see the children, and he keeps them away from her. And it's a very bad influence. And she's trying to get him to pay her $700 million a year in maintenance.
So they're divorced, like
they're not divorced. They were never married. Never married.
Oh, they never married. Okay. So they separate. When did they separate? Sorry, I didn't know.
Well, they were never married. You know, they just had a relationship. Yes. Well, yes.
Break up.
You know, she was in a relationship with him. Then she started a relationship with a woman.
Oh.
You know.
Okay.
You know, so it's not really very exciting. It's not very interesting or very. And so she's at that age where she thinks she's going to be 32 forever. But no, she's going to be 42 and then 52.
And then 62.
And then 72.
Okay, let me translate. I don't know if I translate right, but I'll try. So, les prénoms, en fait, ont été
She's not going to be 32 forever.
No.
She's never going to be playing little games like that forever, you know.
What you mean?
Funny music.
Maybe she'll figure out one day that it doesn't work this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell in French. Donc, c'est la maman des enfants qui a choisi les prénoms, qui étaient pas du tout au goût de Elon et pas au goût de Errol non plus. Et en fait, la maman, Elon et la maman des enfants ne sont pas mariés. Et d'ailleurs, la maman, elle a été voir, elle s'est mise en couple avec une femme après. Et là, il fait tout pour les garder une distance entre les enfants et leur mère parce que à une époque, enfin, quand ils étaient bébés, elle voulait les raser en mettant leur nom sur leur crâne, leur tatouer le prénom sur le crâne. Alors là, il n'a pas été d'accord, Elon. Et donc, cette maman, elle a des, enfin voilà, elle est un peu spéciale, on va dire. Elle fait de la musique un peu bizarre, enfin en tout cas selon ce que nous dit Errol, et pas très bonne influence apparemment sur les enfants. Donc voilà, c'est pas un choix de Elon au départ. Et ah oui, une dernière chose qui nous faisait comme mime, c'est que la maman, la mère, pense qu'elle aura 32 ans toute sa vie, et puis en fait elle en a 42, et puis après elle en aura 52, et c'est là qu'il faisait les gestes, et après 62, etc. Et à la fin elle va être comme ça. Et puis, voilà, elle pense qu'elle sera jeune toute sa vie, mais ce n'est pas le cas. OK.
Comment il réagit au passage du livre de Walter Isaacson qui décrit votre influence sur Elon comme celle d'un méchant dans un chapitre inspiré de Jekyll et Hyde? Et qu'est-ce qu'il pense de ces descriptions? Est-ce qu'elles sont justes?
So, how do you answer, or what's your response to the passages in the book of Walter Isaacson who describes your influence on Elon as a villain, the villain of Jekyll and Hyde's, story. So, what's your reaction? Do you think they're fair or accurate?
It's absolute rubbish. I mean,
rubbish.
It's not accurate. It's not accurate.
Okay.
The book is not accurate, and it's not accurate all the way through. It's not just with me. It's inaccurate all the way through. It's a very poor book. There are better books that have been written by Elon. There's about Elon. There's one called Risking It All. That's another book that was written about Elon. That's more accurate.
Okay.
Isaacson's book is not accurate at all, not even remotely.
Okay.
And I think he just came up with all the stuff, and he's been, for example, Elon's one son, who's declared himself to be a female, a woman. You may have read about that.
Oh.
Elon's oldest son.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yes, I know. I knew. Yes, sure. So he wrote about it.
Well, so, that person, that son of Elon, who has decided to continue their life as a female, has also said that everything that's said about her in that book is fake, is false, and that you know, it's fake and it's rubbish. Yeah, okay. I agree. It's not a good book. It's not a good book.
And do you think Elon is the same? Agrees. Elon agrees with you. He says too that it's not the right things. It's not accurate.
Well, you know. I mean, people write things about other people.
Yeah.
At periods in time. I mean, at a stage in time, and you know, I've read things about myself that are not true. I've read things about other people that are not true. What are you supposed to do? I mean, you know, I read in the magazines that I don't know, you know, some major movie star is actually a child molester. You know, somebody, you know, and then is that true? Then afterwards, no, sorry, they made a mistake, you know, and you know, I mean, it's just if you become a well-known person, then you have to accept that many people are going to try to hurt you, you know, and bring you down.
Yes,
so you just laugh it off. I mean, you just say, you know, it's fine. I mean. To me, Isaacson is stupid. I think he's a very stupid man.
Okay, let me translate. Alors,
stupid man.
Ouais, donc, Walter Isaacson a dit des bêtises, en fait.
He's a simpleton.
Errol, c'est vraiment quelqu'un qui a dit des choses complètement fausses, y compris sur le fils d'Elon qui est devenu une fille. Et d'ailleurs, donc, sa fille n'est pas d'accord avec ce qu'a écrit cette personne sur leur famille. Donc, tout est faux. Et ce que nous rappelle Errol, c'est on change toute sa vie et quelqu'un qui écrit sur nous, je parle de Elon par exemple, eh bien, il va prendre une photo à un moment donné et puis ça va changer peut-être le mois prochain, peut-être dans un an, même ce que Errol était en train de dire que ben, je pense à quelque chose peut-être maintenant, mais peut-être que dans 10 ans, je penserai à autre chose, je serai quelqu'un d'autre, ou peut-être demain. Et il faut accepter, quand on est connu, d'avoir des gens qui disent du mal de nous, ou qui déforment qui on est, ou qui se moquent de nous. Ça, c'est le jeu, ma pauvre Lucette, j'ai envie de te le dire. Ça, c'est comme ça.
He's a simpleton. The Bentley that I drove down today for 1,500 kilometers, it's a gift from Elon to me.
Oh. Alors, la Bentley dans laquelle il a roulé, là, c'est un cadeau d'Elon. Et aussi, ce que j'ai oublié de dire, il y a un livre très bien sur Elon, Risking It All. C'est un autre livre qui est bien sur Elon.
It's a better book about...
Ça veut dire
a better book.
A better book, yeah, yes.
You know, if I, you know, like I hear you speaking French.
Yes.
Now, Napoleon, if you study Napoleon, it's very difficult not to come to the conclusion that Napoleon must have come from some other planet.
Maybe you too.
No. I'm talking about Napoleon.
Yeah, no.
So Napoleon was so far ahead of the rest of the people that it seems he must have come from another planet.
Okay.
Now, let me finish. Oh. If Napoleon had not been stopped by the kings of Europe, you know, the monarchies who are very bad, we would have had the internet. Elon said, we would have had the internet in the year 1900.
Okay.
If Napoleon had stayed there, we would have been on the moon before 1900.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
But because they broke Napoleon down, we took longer. But now, if I read about Napoleon in England, then you read about Napoleon, how he was a very bad man.
Oh.
Very bad man. He was
Yeah,
a
I see
killer.
what you mean.
He was a terrible, terrible man. And luckily we able to kill him. Do you understand?
I understand, because the best person are seen like villains from the history side and from the
yes. So today, tell him. But let me tell you this: if I go to Paris now, today, and I go to the Place des Invalides,
les Invalides,
Place des Invalides, or it is
Invalides,
and I want to see Napoleon's tomb. Okay.
Oui. Yeah.
It will take me 5 hours.
Why?
Because of the line.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
365 days a year. The line will take 5 hours for me to see the tomb.
Let me translate.
And you walk around and around and around. You see, that isn't something that would be for somebody who was a villain.
I know. You're right. You're totally right.
So you see, Napoleon was like from another planet. But for the British and for the other people, he was a very bad man. You see?
Yes.
But then Napoleon started Academy of Sciences in Paris, which became the leading science inventions and science study in the world. And Napoleon, every town in the world, every city, every town in the world today is run according to the Napoleonic Code. The Napoleonic Code. And the Napoleonic Code says that you must have running water, you must have sewage disposal, you must have stormwater drainage, you must have pavements, sidewalks for people to walk on. That's the Napoleonic Code. Every city, every town in the world today is run on the Napoleonic Code.
Okay.
Because before Napoleon, there were no codes.
All right.
And Napoleon introduced the codes. There must be lighting in the streets. There must be pavements. There must be sewage. There must be running water. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So he was not a villain.
No, actually, and you're not a villain as well.
But if you ask the British people, they will say Napoleon was a terrible villain.
I see what you mean. Alors, Napoléon, là, il prend l'exemple de Napoléon, puisqu'on est français. Napoléon, d'après Errol, vient d'une autre planète. C'est un petit peu un précurseur, quelqu'un de très, très intelligent, très innovant. Et que si Napoléon, on l'avait laissé faire, il y aurait Internet depuis les années 1900. On serait allé sur la Lune dans les années 1900, bien avant la date officielle. C'est grâce au code napoléonien qu'on a de l'eau courante, qu'on a des trottoirs, qu'on a l'éclairage public et toutes sortes de choses qui n'existaient pas avant. Donc c'est vraiment quelqu'un qui a fait beaucoup et qui a modernisé la civilisation, la société qu'on connaît. Et par contre, il était décrit comme quelqu'un de très mauvais par les Britanniques. Mais ce qui permet de voir vraiment ce que pensent les gens de Napoléon, c'est de voir la queue qui se forme aux Invalides pour aller voir le tombeau, la tombe de Napoléon, parce qu'il est enterré, il est là, en fait, aux Invalides à Paris. Et ce que disait Errol, c'est que s'il veut aller voir la tombe de Napoléon, il a besoin de 5 heures pour faire la queue, en fait, pour attendre son tour, pour pouvoir voir Napoléon. Donc, ça peut pas être un méchant ou quelqu'un de mauvais, parce qu'il dit que chaque jour, il y a des queues immenses pour aller voir la tombe de Napoléon. Donc, ne pas croire ce qui est dit par certains, et surtout quand on est décrit comme un méchant, un vilain, mauvaise personne, c'est pas toujours la vérité. C'est même souvent le contraire.
Ouais, exact.
OK.
Alors, c'est quoi son opinion sur le rôle de l'intelligence artificielle dans l'éducation moderne?
So what's your opinion about artificial intelligence in education? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing?
Well, we've always had, I won't say we've always had artificial intelligence, but we've had it for quite a long time. An electric kettle that switches off by itself, that's artificial intelligence. A pop-up toaster is artificial intelligence. You know, a pop-up toaster, they're making toast out of bread, you know, it switches off by itself. A washing machine that washes your clothes according to a cycle, that's artificial intelligence. So we've had artificial intelligence for quite a long time. And in your car, we have speed control. That's artificial intelligence. So we've had a lot of artificial intelligence even up to now. Many things you can think of. And one of them, for example, is a kettle that I don't know if you use electric kettles where you live, but if you switch on an electric kettle and you put water in to boil the water, it switches off by itself.
Sure.
It doesn't wait for you to switch it off, because if you didn't, if it did that, then it would melt, you see, if it didn't switch off by itself. So, so we've had it for a long time. And so the thing is, nowadays, I think Elon he explained it best to me when he was still very much a student. He said to me long ago, 25 years ago, he said to me that the thing with artificial intelligence on the internet, for example, is if you get spam on your email, spam, you know what spam is?
Courrier indésirable. Right. Yes.
And then you instruct your computer that you do not want spam anymore. And that computer must make sure that you never get spam anymore. Okay? Then the computer may have such a depth of understanding as it develops more and more self introspection of itself, that, for example, the person who's sending you spam, the computer might work out a way to give the person an electric shock when it touches the keyboard and kill that person.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
So if you tell the computer, I want no spam anymore, the computer may then take your instruction as meaning that they must kill people who send spam.
It's dangerous.
Do you understand? Kill people who send spam.
But they won't do it.
The computer may, being AI, may interpret your instruction that you don't want any more spam, that anyone who sends you spam must be destroyed.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So you have to stop the artificial intelligence.
Yes.
From killing people.
Of course.
Might decide to find a way to kill people who send you spam. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand. I just wait that you finish. So how do you do to stop
Chloé send me any more spam? Make sure that Chloé never contacts me again.
But don't kill her.
The computer will find you and kill you.
No way. No thanks.
No, you understand?
I understand.
Because at what point have you told the computer to stop?
Yeah. So
there's a limit.
There's a limit with the artificial intelligence.
And if you translate that into human behavior as well, if you were to say to your army or your military people that you don't want, they must take care of a situation on the border or something, they may assume that means they must kill everybody on the border. They don't know where's the limit. So AI is the same. You have to introduce controls.
Definitely. So what do you think about AI in education? Because that was the question. Do you think it's a good thing?
Yes. I mean, obviously, we've been using AI for years for education. I mean, in South Africa, we use physics 101 and chemistry 101, which is on Google, at our schools to teach the children. It's all AI.
Oh yeah, it works.
They've been using it for years here to teach the children from grade 8 onwards, chemistry and physics and so on, and maths.
But it's used with teachers plus. No.
No. Physics 101 and Chemistry 101 was put out in America some years ago, about, I don't know, 15 years ago. And it's so good that people, you can use that to teach children. There's no teachers involved. They give you exercises and you have to do the exercises. It's all automatic. And so that's a sort of kind of AI. And, so it's been happening for a long time. I mean,
how many years? How many years has it been used? This Chemistry 101?
We were using Physics 101 at school here 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay, so let me translate. So
it's a self-help, how to teach yourself physics. Physics 101.
Oh. Alors, l'intelligence artificielle, nous dit Errol, est utilisée dans plein de domaines, même des domaines qu'on ne soupçonne pas, comme la machine à laver, la bouilloire électrique qui s'arrête toute seule. Il y en a d'autres, ça va me revenir. Et dans l'éducation, enfin à l'école, il y a des programmes, notamment aux États-Unis, qui existent depuis au moins 15 ans, des logiciels qui existent. Par exemple, c'est Chemistry 101, donc c'est la chimie 101, qui sont en fait un logiciel qui est un logiciel à base d'intelligence artificielle qui enseigne aux enfants sans qu'il y ait besoin d'un enseignant à côté. Et ça marche bien apparemment. Donc je pense que ce que je comprends de ce que nous dit Errol, c'est qu'il n'est pas contre l'intelligence artificielle du moment que ça nous aide. Mais il nous donnait l'exemple de le spam, par exemple, le courrier indésirable, quand on a un ordinateur et qu'on reçoit des mails et qu'on aimerait stopper certains emails, certains courriels de la part de certains destinataires. On les met dans les spams, mais c'est à l'intelligence artificielle d'être bien programmée pour que, quand on dit je ne veux plus recevoir de courrier de cette personne, l'ordinateur comprenne que ça ne veut pas dire qu'on veut tuer la personne qui nous envoie les courriers. Ça veut simplement dire qu'il faut bloquer les courriers. Mais il faut vraiment faire attention à bien montrer les limites parce que l'intelligence artificielle, ça n'est rien d'autre qu'une programmation et ça n'a pas d'émotion, ça n'a pas d'intuition et ça ne sait pas faire la différence entre disons, il faut vraiment être très clair dans les instructions pour qu'il n'y ait pas des risques de tuer les personnes qu'on a envie de bloquer. Il ne faut pas confondre bloquer et éliminer et tuer, par exemple. Donc, il faut vraiment faire très attention avec un système comme l'intelligence artificielle. Mais apparemment, c'est quand même quelque chose qui est utile selon Errol, notamment dans l'éducation, dans la pédagogie à l'école.
You see, like a book, an ordinary book,
yes.
which we've had for many thousands of years.
Yes.
A book contains information, and it's artificial intelligence. It's not coming from a person. It's in a book. It's in a book. So you might give the book to somebody and say, read this, or you look at this book, and even the person who gave you the book may not even know what's in the book. But if you take that book and you learn from that book, which is containing information and artificial information, you might say, and you could learn something very important from that book, you see.
Yeah.
So the other thing about the problem, with artificial intelligence that they're talking about now, and Elon is concerned about, in life, I might employ Stephen, am I right? And I might say to him, Chloe is coming here too much. Get rid of her. Do you understand?
Yes.
But then Stephen is now a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And a computer doesn't understand that when I say get rid of her, I mean, just make sure she doesn't come into the offices anymore or something, or make sure she doesn't know where we are. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he must go and kill you.
Yes.
Do you understand?
I understand.
But when I say to him, get rid of Chloe, the artificial intelligence is now thinking, oh, get rid of Chloe.
So yeah, kill her.
Where is the limit? Then Stephen is the artificial intelligence. He comes back to me, he says, I have got rid of Chloe.
But
and I say,
fortunately, he's
what
a
do you
human.
do?
He's not artificial, so he understands he doesn't
No,
have
no,
to
I'm just
kill
saying,
me.
this is a scenario, a scary
Yes,
scenario,
scary.
if he was a computer. But you see, he's not a computer.
No.
So if I said that to him, he'd tell me to jump in the lake because he's a person.
Yeah.
You see, but if he was a computer, he would come to me and say, I did what you asked me to do. And I'd say, what did you do? He said, well,
I got rid of her.
No more coming here. Don't worry.
No more
finished.
Chloe. No more Chloe.
You see,
she won't bother
that's what you have to be concerned about. So if your artificial intelligence is controlling, for example, intercontinental ballistic missiles and bombs and airplanes and satellite energy weapons and all that sort of stuff, and you leave it and you leave instructions with the artificial intelligence and say, if my enemies, whoever you think they are, should cause me trouble, get rid of them. The next thing you find out, there's atomic explosions going on at your enemies because your AI said, I did what you want me to do. So, you forgot to tell me, don't send atomic bombs. You didn't introduce that to me. You just said, make sure that my enemies don't succeed. That's all. So the artificial intelligence says to you with a smile, I did what you wanted.
So you agree that it's dangerous, this artificial intelligence?
Yes, it can be very dangerous. I mean, if you take modern motor cars, now I've got this very modern motor car that I have now, and you can put this car onto distance control. So when you're driving it, it will drive itself. And Elon is even talking about cars that will actually have no driver. No driver.
Okay.
So as you know, as you probably read, but now this car that I've driven today it still needs a driver, but you can put it on automatic distance control. And then it will always stop before it comes closer to another car.
Yeah.
It's forever stopping probably without you doing anything. But again, if it should fail and I'm not looking at what it's doing, or if I might give the wrong instruction, then it might drive me off a cliff or something. I mean, it's just artificial intelligence. It's not thinking what's the best thing to do. It simply takes the instruction.
Yeah.
Do not crash into this car that is in front of you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say don't. It doesn't say at the same time don't drive off the cliff.
Yeah, that's it.
So instead of crashing into the car in front of you, it might decide, well, I'll just go off the cliff instead.
Exactly, it's better.
And then it can say to you, well, I didn't crash into the car in front of you.
But you're still dead. But anyway, okay, yes, I'll try to translate everything.
That's not complicated. It's very simple.
Yeah, okay. Alors, Errol, il continue avec des métaphores par rapport à l'intelligence artificielle et il nous met en garde parce que l'intelligence artificielle, elle fait strictement ce qu'on lui demande. Mais par exemple, il prenait l'exemple de s'il voulait t'employer, toi, comme employé chez lui, et qu'il en avait marre de me voir arriver à ton bureau, venir te dire bonjour, et il te demande de te débarrasser de moi. Si tu es de l'intelligence artificielle, peut-être que tu vas comprendre, ou peut-être tu vas faire en sorte de te débarrasser de moi de la façon la pire qu'il soit, c'est-à-dire que tu pourrais me tuer. Donc, c'est encore cet exemple de qu'est-ce que comprend l'intelligence artificielle? Ça n'est qu'un programme. Donc, attention à l'intelligence artificielle. Et de la même façon, Elon veut faire des voitures qui se conduisent toutes seules, sans chauffeur, sans conducteur. Des voitures qui existent déjà, d'ailleurs, dans lesquelles on demande que la voiture s'arrête chaque fois qu'il y a un obstacle. Mais cette voiture, grâce à l'intelligence artificielle, elle pourrait très bien nous conduire dans un ravin plutôt que d'aller vers l'obstacle parce qu'elle n'a pas été programmée pour éviter les ravins. Pour elle, elle a évité l'obstacle, ce qui était programmé dans sa mémoire. Mais elle pourrait très bien nous précipiter dans le vide, pensant bien faire, c'est-à-dire exécutant le programme, parce que simplement, on n'a pas pensé à mettre les limites et à tout baliser pour que l'intelligence artificielle ne nous amène pas à la mort. Et donc, je lui demandais tout à l'heure s'il était d'accord de dire que c'était plutôt dangereux, cette confiance aveugle qu'on fait à l'intelligence artificielle pour tout et n'importe quoi, et qu'il faudrait quand même toujours garder l'humain au centre et présent, parce que sinon, on ne sait pas à quoi ça va nous mener. I hope I translated well, but the main idea is here anyway.
Yes,
So,
and another way to explain it is when we take our children, our small children, and we put them in school,
yes.
we tell them from a very early age, even before they go to school, we want them to win. They must be the best. They must get the highest score. We tell them all the time, you must get the best. You must be the best. You must run the fastest.
Yeah.
You must be the best. We're all telling our children all the time. Yeah. But when they get to school, one of the things that the schools have to teach the children is empathy.
Oh, yes.
That is to be concerned about your other people around you. So they arrive at the school thinking they must do everything to be the number one. Doesn't matter how they get there, they must just be number one. But then the school, if they're good teachers, say they will be trying to teach the children to consider the others, consider each other, have empathy for each other. That's a very big lesson in life. Yeah. So that not a question always of beating the other person down. It's also a question of helping people. So you try to teach children a combination of empathy and trying to be the best, but not to be the best at the expense of other people's well-being, you know. And that's a very big thing. And so there you come closer to the situation with artificial intelligence, which is telling the computer that everything must be the best. But now you have to introduce empathy to the computer as well.
I agree
so that it considers what it is doing. So you might say to a child, a small child, you must be the best at running. So then he goes and he puts in the shoes of the other children, he puts nails or something, you know, and so they can't run fast.
To make him fail.
Yeah, so they fail and he wins. But that's not empathy. That's not a good thing to do, you see. So, but a computer might interpret your instructions that it must win no matter what it takes.
What it takes, yeah. I'm a teacher, so I know what you mean.
Yes, there you are. There you go.
Yeah, so I'm a math teacher, to be exact, to be accurate. Une autre image que Errol prend, c'est quand tu es enfant dans notre société, on t'apprend à être le meilleur, à toujours gagner, à toujours être le meilleur. Mais ce qu'on devrait nous apprendre à l'école, en plus de bien réussir, c'est d'avoir de l'empathie pour les autres. Parce que sinon, on va leur faire les pires crasses, leur mettre des escargots dans les chaussures, faire tout pour que l'autre en face rate. Et de la même façon, l'intelligence artificielle, elle va faire le mieux qu'elle peut avec le programme qui lui est donné sans du tout considérer ce qui se passe autour. Donc, ce qu'il faudrait mettre dans l'intelligence artificielle, c'est de l'empathie, c'est justement tout ce qui fait l'humanité, ce qui fait qu'on est humain et qu'on n'est pas juste des machines qui détruisons, qui écrasons. Malheureusement, je trouve qu'on le devient un peu trop, mais ça, c'est ma touche personnelle. Mais en tout cas, l'intelligence artificielle, elle devrait vraiment contenir tous ces paramètres de, je sais pas comment, de sensibilité, d'empathie, de prendre en compte l'autre.
En parlant de ça, est-ce qu'il y a un message pour la jeunesse, pour celles et ceux qui veulent aller au bout de leur projet, de leur rêve?
Do you have a special message to address young people in life? What would you tell them to be happy, to be successful, so on? What do you think? What would you advise them to be or to do?
Well, I would say, you know, to the people who have the young people in their care, you need to give people confidence. So you need to try and give people confidence, and you need to try and give your friends confidence, and you need to try and give each other confidence. And if you can introduce a certain amount of confidence, you know, to people, they will do much more than they would ever have done. Teach children confidence. Teach each other confidence. Don't put each other down. You know, if you see somebody doing something that they've tried hard at, to do, then you should compliment them and you should encourage them, and to do more. And that, I think, is the best thing. What was your question? How would you treat the children?
What would be your advice to young people?
Well, my advice to young people would be certainly to surround yourself with people who encourage you and who like you and encourage you to do better, and and avoid people that aren't doing that for you. Avoid people who are going to ruin you. You must look for people that are going to lift you up. Not put you down.
Of course,
that's what
like.
And certainly, whatever work you take on, you should never work for money. You should do work that you like doing, and the money will come by itself. Yeah. So you don't go and take work because it's paying so much money or something, or this money or that money. You do something because you like to do it. You like to do it. Do things that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. That makes that you're not working, that you're having a good time doing that. So, and you can see, even if you go to a restaurant, you can tell the difference between the people who are waiters. I don't know what you call them, waiters there, but those people who serve you, you can tell the difference between one who enjoys what they're doing, and you can see somebody who's not enjoying what they're doing.
Of course.
And and so you must do what you find enjoyable, not what you think is going to bring you money.
Money.
Because it will bring you money. The thing that you enjoy doing will bring you more money than you ever needed.
Thank you. Yeah. Alors, les deux conseils, en fait, de Errol, c'est de s'entourer de gens qui vont nous porter vers le haut, qui vont croire en nous, qui vont avoir confiance en nous, qui vont nous être bienveillants avec nous, et de s'éloigner de ceux qui nous veulent du mal ou qui sont pas bienveillants, qui essaient de nous rabaisser. Et la deuxième chose, c'est de faire une activité ou un travail qui nous plaît fondamentalement. Parce que si on fait quelque chose pour l'argent, on va pas être heureux, et non seulement on va pas être heureux, mais ça nous rapportera pas autant d'argent que si on fait vraiment ce qui nous intéresse et ce qui est notre passion profonde. Et il donnait l'exemple de quand on va dans un restaurant, on remarque souvent les serveurs qui sont passionnés par leur travail et les serveurs qui sont là juste pour comme un boulot alimentaire, en fait, qui sont là pour gagner de l'argent. Ça se sent très vite. D'ailleurs, on a déjà souvent remarqué ça. Donc, vraiment, faites des choses qui vous plaisent, qui pulsent en vous, et entourez-vous de personnes bienveillantes qui veulent votre bien et votre réussite. Very, very good. I like it.
Okay.
Alors, pour moi, la dernière question.
Last question.
Quelles sont les personnes que lui aimerait remercier qui ont fait de lui ce qu'il est?
Are there people that you would like to thank for the person you are now? Do you understand the question?
Yes. I think my teachers at school, the teachers that I had at school, I would like to find them and thank them if I could ever find them. Because I had very good teachers, and I was very lucky. They were ordinary teachers, I'm sure, but for me they were very special, and I would like to thank them because they taught me so much stuff, and at the time when I was a student and a schoolboy, I didn't appreciate it.
But now
but now when I look back, then I realize even the way I brush my teeth every day now is what I learned at school. They taught
you how to brush your teeth. They taught you how to brush.
When I was 9 years old or something, they taught me how to brush properly, So I still, to this day, I'm still doing the same. And so I would like, the people that I had as teachers were a very big influence in my life. And then after that, I met many people in my business, the type of business I did, and I learned a lot from them. And the thing is, everyone you meet, especially with those who have more experience, you can learn so much from them if you just listen and don't think that you know everything, you know, and then you will learn very quickly from them. You know?
Okay.
So I would thank all the people that I had in my life who were teaching me things, you know.
All right, yeah, great. Alors, les personnes qu'il aimerait remercier, Errol, c'est toutes les personnes qui lui ont enseigné des choses dans cette vie. Donc, commencer ses professeurs, ses enseignants. À ce moment-là, il n'était pas forcément aussi laudatif à leurs propos, mais aujourd'hui, il leur doit beaucoup, dont un enseignant ou une enseignante, j'ai pas vraiment compris qui c'était, qui lui a enseigné, qui lui a appris à se brosser les dents. Donc, il continue à se brosser les dents en pensant à cette personne. Et il a aussi beaucoup appris dans son activité professionnelle. Et ce qu'il nous dit, c'est que tant qu'on est à l'écoute des autres et qu'on peut apprendre des choses, on ne peut que se bonifier. Et donc, il est dans cette démarche-là. Il remercie vraiment les personnes qui l'ont aidé à se grandir, à se bonifier et à apprendre des choses. Voilà.
En tout cas, tu peux le remercier de notre part pour ce moment très, très généreux. Et puis, merci encore pour ce temps qu'on a passé ensemble.
So, Stephen would like to thank you, and I'm thanking you too for your time, for your generosity, for your listening, for all you said, all you told us. So thank you very much.
Okay. It's a pleasure.
And, yes. And have a nice day or evening, whatever.
And you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Errol.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Merci. Au revoir.
Bye.